Video games are fundamentally a visual medium, so obviously it's important that the graphics stimulate the eyes of the player. It's one of the main factors for providing immersion for the player. The past 20 years have seen an amazing development of visual fidelity. However, the evolution of graphics is not about realism. And although a gimmick, good graphics does not make a game good, which is overlooked by many developers, but it does give a game its identity. While conceptualizing my game, I have come to the belief that the growth of technology isn't about the increase of visual fidelity, but the increase of possibility. Hi, this is Super Dev Bros, a series that documents the progress of my game and the game design guiding it. The biggest inspiration for my game is Super Mario 3D World. Now, this game wasn't exactly the game that I wanted when it came out because it wasn't this, or in fact this, but I did end up enjoying it more than I thought I would. And what appealed to me was that the game felt just like the 2D Mario games, while at the same time being able to move around in all directions in 3D. The game felt kind of fresh, yet at the same time it felt nostalgic. It took me back. In fact, let's go back.
Where did that bring you? Back to me.
No, way back. No, way back.
I have a dream.
Not that far back. Oh, okay, yeah, that's about right. Let's start from here. You see, growing up on the Super Nintendo, Atari ST, and DOS games, I enjoyed many experiences that I would find less and less as I moved on to the next console. For example, Super Mario World would be followed by Super Mario 64. Both amazing games, yet radically different. One of the biggest changes being obviously the perspective and the graphics. As technology moved on, so did the visuals, or so it seemed. This is a game from 1994. Now this is a game from 2014, 20 years later. Now this is also a game from 2014. Wait, what? This isn't the only example. There are countless more, some pushing this apparent style into unique ways. The style is called pixel art. So what defines pixel art is the visual effect of highly perceptible squares forming an image. The effect is a visual style similar to that of mosaic art, or embroidery techniques, and pointillism. Now, although the average video game doesn't utilize this art style, due to its history with video games, pixel art is the style that encompasses what a video game is. So it's not surprising that this style still remains popular to this day. I want to do with pixel art what Super Mario 3D World did with classic Super Mario. I want to translate the classic 2D style into 3D, while still maintaining that feel. The concept for pixel art in a 3D style is actually quite simple. You see, a pixel in 3D is a voxel. Where pixels are made up of squares, voxels are made up of cubes. So the models have to be, or at least look like, they are made up of voxels. This style is not new, and it has been done many times. However, although the look is there, the animation is not. The main problem is that although they look like voxels, they move like polygons. A polygon is made up of 3 points called vertices that join together to make a triangle or polygon. The way these vertices move deforms the object to create a desired movement. So essentially, when you see CGI in movies, they are basically morphing around in a way that denotes coherent movement. Now that the way polygons appear to move is quite clear, it will now be easy to understand that the way voxels appear to move is actually quite different. Instead of the points moving around, the cubes themselves appear to move, almost as if the object is being rebuilt every frame. Now it is possible to achieve that effect in 3D programs with polygons, and it actually looks like voxels, even though it's just polygons behaving like voxels. The polygon movement is then recorded and stored onto a file so that game engines such as Unity can easily import this voxelated object into the game world. Now I make this sound simple, but it was actually extremely hard, convoluted and frustrating to get it to work, with many bugs that there'll be a future video on it. In fact, here's one example. If you look at the concept video for my game Gigabit Labyrinth, you will see a lack of texture on the character. This is because textures don't function conventionally. You see, in order to give a digital object a texture, it requires a UV map. In 3D computer graphics, a UV map is the process of projecting a 2D image onto a 3D object. The U and V are the directional axes, like XYZ. Now because XYZ are already used to determine where something is in a 3D space, U and V are used instead. Put simply, a UV map is just a flat version of a 3D object. Now the issue is, the number of polygons on an animated object in the voxelated style changes up to almost every frame, so creating a UV map for a voxelated object is quite perplexing. At first I didn't believe it was possible, as textures would show up for one frame, but for one frame only. Eventually I was able to fix this issue by finding the frame that has the most polygons and creating a UV map out of that. It's tedious, but it works. So, with everything figured out, I continued building the world and created simplified versions of the models to act as collision. Then, I moved on to reprogramming the animation for my character, as I redid all the animations just to make them look a little bit better. After that, I then moved on to programming particle effects, just to add a little bit more life. I designed a level that's basically a sandbox. Once everything was in place, I then added some post-processing effects to polish it up a bit more, so that the game can look as good as it can be. Now that everything is complete, it is now time to export what I have so that I can play it and test it. So I'll just click on build and run. Now this basically shouldn't take too long for it to export. Just gotta wait a little bit, and that's it. Okay, just a few more seconds.
58 hours later.
Now that a short century has passed, I just need to load the game, and then... So this is the result. This is what it's turned out to look like. Now I've still got a ways to go in developing this style, which is what building this sandbox is for. And also to mess with other mechanics, like messing with these birds. Those birds are basically like, oh hell no! But yeah, the purpose of this sandbox was to basically refine the style to test any mechanics that I make. For example, damage and hello. Okay, let me show you a mechanic of communicating with NPCs. So let me just walk over there. Now basically I'm going to show you more specifically how you really communicate with a female NPC. So let's get big. For crying out loud, okay. Oh, you think that's funny? Horror-y horror. Okay, so let's try this again. Oh yeah, keep laughing, you midget Ganondorf. This is why you're not in Smash Brothers. Ganondorf. That could have been you. Now you're stuck here. You know what? I'm gonna go to your house and steal everything. And there's nothing here. Right, yeah, I forgot to put stuff in. I'm using a controllable camera instead of a fixed one, but this is for testing the graphics. It's not going to be final. So let's see what's up here. Let's go up here. Let's see what's in there. Looks quite interesting. Okay. Yeah, look at that. This, I have no idea what it is. And I'm not sure I want to stay and find out. Man, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. And if you know of any games that look similar to this, leave a comment below. Let's go on top of this cave so I can get a better view. There we are. Now if you can see the distance, the trees and the hills, they're basically just normal polygons, but they're pixelated so that they fit with the style. And this giant tree up here is not interesting, so let's go somewhere else. This is far more interesting. 3 cubes. But no, seriously, in the previous video I showed that when you crouch, jump, you dive onto your head and then you start rolling. Or if you crouch, jump, and then jump at the right time again, you do a super jump to give the player more options. Now because the character's afro is so large, he uses it to bounce off the ground, unleashing the true power of his throw. Maybe he could use it as a shield? But yeah, if he failed to do what I'm gonna call the afro bounce, he will start to just roll around like this. And he does forcefully propel you. But the good thing is that if you keep jumping, you can continue to roll. This is useful because you can make the character go a lot faster, which opens a lot of speedrunning options. Just try not to roll into a wall. Or do this. Or this. Yeah. And when you jump into a wall, you will face plant. The reason why I did this is so I don't have to animating jumping at different angles, and because I'm lazy. But yeah, that's it. Wait, what? You want to look at that? Okay, whatever. But it is a bit far. This giant tree was made so that I would be jumping on more than just platforms. I made it to practice designing levels and giving context to platforms. I'm planning on releasing this build online after I fix some bugs. All in all, I'm happy with the way that the graphics turned out. Now as I said before, Good graphics does not make a game good, but it can be the spirit that breathes life into a game, proving its significance. To add more life, I'll be adding NPCs as enemies, to make the levels more interesting. So the next video will take a look at artificial intelligence. Whew, that's it for this video. And if you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, share it with as many people as you can, and also leave a comment below. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next level.